So for this authentic assessment, we're going to look at some frequency tables. And on here, this table shows a survey that asks 100 adults if they had a high school diploma and if their annual income was more than $30,000. So on here, we're asked what's the probability that a person has a high school diploma and makes $30,000 or less? So what we would need to do is look out here and we need how many people have a high school diploma and make $30,000 or less. So this is going to equal 21 people. Oops, let me switch to my pen over here. And I'll put that in blue. So we're going to go 21 people out of, and now we need our total. So what I'm going to do here is just add down the count across the rows. So 21 plus 68. And that gives me 89 people have a high school diploma. And then 9 plus 2 is 11 people that don't. And then out of here, if I add that, that gives me 100 people. So this is 21 out of 100. And then moving that, you could divide, but that I know if I divide by 100, I can move the decimal 2 spots. So this is going to be 0.21 or 21%. So the probability that you make less than $30,000 with a high school diploma is 21% out of the people surveyed. Now, what is the probability that a person has no high school diploma and earns more than $30,000? So the number of people in that situation is 2 out of 100. And 2 out of 100, if I move that decimal 2 spots and I put in a 0, that would give us 2% or 0.02. So now on here, we have some situations here with eggs. So eggs either hatched or didn't hatch at cool temperature, room temperature, or if they were warm. So what we're going to do is get a total here. So I'm going to add the 6, 14, and 23 across the row for hatched. And that gives me 43. And then we're going to add 19, 11, and 2. And that gives us 32. And then if you add those, that gives us 75. So now to remake that table, I'm just going to put hatched and not hatched. And we're going to make this by changing those into percentages. So I'm going to write C for cool. So I'm going to do 6 divided by 75. In here is going to give me 8% or 0.08. Then down here, I'm going to do 19 divided by 75. And that gives me 0.253 or about 25%. And then here is room temperature. So I'm going to write RT and do 14 divided by 75. That gives us about 18.7, but I'm going to write that 0.187. And then here, 11 divided by 75, which is 0.147 about. And then lastly, for warm, 23 divided by 75 is 0.30, and I'll round that up to 7. And then again, this is warm. Then here, 2 divided by 75 is 0.027. And then on here, what percentage of the eggs hatched? Well, I can take my 43 divided by 75. And then 43 divided by 75 is 0.573. Which is 57.3%. What percentage of the eggs that were at cool temperature hatched? So we're just looking at cool temperature. And what percent of those hatched? That's again 6 out of, and we're just going to look at the cool ones. So 6 out of 25. So we're not doing the overall. Which is 24%. So, what percentage of the eggs that were not at room temperature? What percentage were not at room temperature? So, that would be all of the eggs at cool and warm. So, we can go 6 plus 19 plus 23 plus 2. So, again, what I did here, I did 6 plus 19 plus 23 plus 2 out of the 75. And that's 50 out of 75. And that gives us 0.67 about, or 67%. And then here, that 6 out of 25 was about 24%. I said 25%. This is 24%. What percentage of the eggs were at the warmer temperature and did not hatch? So this, we're looking at just the warmer temperature. What percentage of these did not hatch? So 2 of them did not hatch out of, there were 23 plus 2, or 25 total. And then taking that 2 divided by 25, that gives us 0.08, or that is 8%.